Hey! I'm Dexter!
Hey, I'm Oxnard.
Boss will be here shortly.
He's in the bathroom.
And, oh, man, just sell him out right there. He's taking a shit. It's good to be back.
Yeah, how was your wisdom tooth?
It's good. It's had stitches out today. So I'm still feeling a little sore.
Nice.
And I'll have to have the other 3 out later. But this one, all of a sudden, needed some emergency oral surgery.
Wow. Anyway, on to things people care about.
Yeah!
The Watchers on the Wall, Episode 9 of Game of Thrones, Season 4. Big battle.
All wall.
Another
this episode.
key part of the books that I couldn't wait for. What'd you guys think?
Pretty good. I liked it.
Awesome.
Really? I thought for sure he would have hated it completely.
I honestly thought he was going to be bored at most of it.
Maybe in the beginning?
And there were only a few things that I thought that he was going to be like, those were good, but the rest of it, like, he hated. I'm surprised. That's good.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it would be boring.
Because, well, you were already leaning towards this is too boring because you're like, there's too much Sam in this episode.
Oh, that's true. Then
right
it picked
away,
up.
you kept saying
right
that,
after I complained, it picked
yeah,
up.
too much Sam. Or then you were like, he's going to die. Too much. That's why he's talking so much. So I could already tell it was going downhill. They had to, like, do a lot to win you back over.
It's good to have you back, Dexter.
It's good. I'd like to thank everybody for their well wishes and their cards and flowers and their prayers. It was really nice to see that outpouring of everybody wishing me well.
Mine got lost in the mail. Sent you lots of things.
Did you have anything from last week's episode that weren't in the notes that you just wanted to bring up real quickly?
Nothing special that I remember. I realized when I wrote those notes, I was pretty much high on Percocet, and I realized later that I forgot like 4 important scenes.
Yeah, it was like Theon and
Theon goes to Moat Cailin.
Yes.
That's a really important thing. Yeah, and a couple other things, but yeah, I was on painkillers during that time because I had just gotten the oral surgery that afternoon, and then I wrote the notes after that to send you. So,
okay, I could tell.
But yeah,
it looked kind of goofy.
Yeah.
This episode was directed by Neil Marshall, who also did the episode Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Oh.
So I guess he's the guy you call in when you need a big epic battle.
That would have been funny if at the end of this episode, Tywin Lannister comes in on a horse and it shits. It's like his signature shot.
He does the big epic battles, but also, the opening with some of the character stuff, I think he does well too. I mean, I think he should be coming on more. But, I guess they pick him.
Is that the only other episode he's directed?
I think it is.
Oh.
One thing you brought up, Dexter, last week was that Bravos was shown in the opening, but no locations were in Bravos. In this episode, there are 5 locations where we never go to, and that's the first time an episode has all happened in one location at the wall. Which was great, because my biggest fear when watching this whole battle was, oh god, they're going to cut to, like, either, like, Daenerys doing something, or, like, King's Landing with Cersei drinking wine, and, like, this is not going to fit.
Somebody mopping up Prince Oberyn.
That would have been pretty cool, actually. Mopping him up.
Just for 5 seconds. Oh, God.
Yeah. Nobody, I have to do everything around here.
Is Meister Pycelle?
Yeah.
Oh, God. First they disrupt my intro, and now I mop up the remains.
Jesus Christmas.
So, a few interesting scenes here before the battle starts. So you have the Thens and the Wildlings and...
waiting for the battle.
Yeah.
Waiting for the signal.
Giantsbane, Mr. Giantsbane, Redbeard... and Ygritte, they're all talking. Ygritte has a cool scene there. She's sharpening arrows.
Oh, yeah, well, Tormund's talking about, he's telling his classic tale of when he fucked that bear.
Yeah, can you explain that? What did he say about...
He's like, oh, did I ever tell you about when I got that Sheila? Or whatever. And then I was like, I had no idea what he was talking about.
So Sheila was a bear?
Yeah.
He's telling the story of a bear he fucked.
Yeah, and she was nice and soft down below. And then,
really?
And then, yeah, he's like, but she wasn't an ordinary beast. And then Ygritte gets pissed off. She's like, she's probably heard that story a million times.
Right.
Anyway, but then and she's getting antsy because she knows Jon Snow is going to be there.
Okay.
And then she starts yelling at him. I don't want to hear about the time you
I was
didn't
confused.
fuck a bear.
I thought he was comparing a woman to a bear. You're meaning he took...
No, because he says her fangs were sharp, but she knew how to use them.
I thought that was like a metaphor for like.
But then she starts saying, "I know you didn't fuck a bear."
Okay.
Say that's it could have been, but then she says, "You didn't fuck a bear. You're full of shit." And then he's like, just looking at her like, "Hey, everybody loves this story. What are you doing?"
Everyone loves a bestiality story.
And then sure, who doesn't? Then the Then guy's like, all you do is talk, yak. And then he's like, you know what you're going to do when Jon Snow shows up? You're going to give him a nice, juicy slice of ginger minge. And then, you see Egret's a tough little gal.
Yeah.
And I like what's cool when, she's in his face and then he stands up. The guy towers over everybody.
Yeah, and he says, if I see anyone trying to kill Jon Snow, I'm going to kill you first.
Mm-hmm. And then... Gilly arrives. In the background, you see Gilly, the master of stealth, sneaking off.
Yeah.
Just silhouetted. Let me take the high ground.
Thank God there was a
dramatic
moment going on in that little camp where everyone's just kind of looking and focused on something else.
For a second, I almost thought that Egret knew that was happening, and she planned to get everybody's attention that way so that Gilly could sneak off. But then I immediately dismissed. But it was just a thought that occurred to me. That would have been stupid.
The baby just starts.
Honestly, why did she pause? She's lucky. That's a quiet baby. She must get some good sleep, actually, because that baby hardly cries. We've only heard that it cries from last week, that one hooker, that slut bag.
Who's belching songs. Oh. The only 2 songs in Westeros.
And she was one of the least dirty prostitutes in that place.
Yeah, then we get the Sam and Targaryen blind guy, as I call him.
Targaryen blind guy, or that blind guy, as you referred to him earlier.
Sam is reading up on what the wildlings do to people because he's concerned, oh man, what if Gilly was captured? And he's reading that they boil people. They make you live for days in a tortured state.
Yeah, but he's reassuring him, look, that guy knew he didn't know shit about wildlings. He never saw a wildling. Right. That's all horse shit.
He spent more time in this library than outside.
Yeah, and I like that he was kind of razzing him because he's like, oh, who else would be spending their Saturday night
wasting
in the
candles.
Library reading? What a nerd.
It's a great place to go.
You know that this guy, blind guy, was out laying some pipe every weekend.
Slinging dick, man.
Slinging that shit.
And he tells Sam a little story of what he remembers.
Of his dick slinging days.
Some girl, and, Oh, we forgot. The episode opens with Sam and Jon on the wall, and Sam's kind of asking him questions about, what's it like to be in love, and what's it like to have sex, kind of. And Jon's having trouble kind of explaining it. And
don't blame Jon there at all.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hi, look, I'm not a poet." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you're not."
Yeah, but what was Sam want? I don't think Sam wanted him to wax poetic about it. I think he wanted some down and dirty details.
Yeah, I think so too.
Come on, let's get graphic here. Yeah. I got to know because I'm gonna die. Don't hold back.
I know Boss probably doesn't like it, but I like how Sam is kind of becoming more of a man. Doing his own thing.
Boss is on his phone.
He's probably writing
notes. Probably. No, but yeah, Boss doesn't like Sam, right, Boss? No, shaking his head.
Now,
no.
George Martin, I think, has said it in interviews that the character he would most likely be like in the story is a Sam-like character.
I think most of us would be like Sam, because Sam is so genuine. I can see that. I feel like maybe the reader, you don't want to read the Sam. For me, anyway. I mean, I like the Sam chapters in the books, but they're not the most exciting. Usually, you get really into the other characters, Tyrion, Jaime, Jon Snow chapters, and all that business. And then, but Sam is probably the most character you can easily attach to. So then, I guess Gilly arrives.
Yes, Gilly arrives at the gate. Sam hears her voice, and she's talking about the baby.
He drops an F-bomb.
Yeah, what's this guy's name?
Pip.
Pip is at the gate. He's like, look, I can't open it, Sam. He says, open the fucking gate. He's like, I never heard you curse before. Get used to it.
Well, darn it. Heck. You better be used to that, Buster.
Consarn it. One nice touch I liked is when you see that owl land early on.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
And then that's before you see...
the guy who looks like powder controlling it.
Yeah, and his eyes are all white. First I thought, is that just like a dead guy on a stake?
That'd be hilarious to open just like a dead guy sitting there.
And then,
why is he hanging out with that group?
I don't know. And so then he opens his eyes, and he says it's ready, and you see the owl flies off. Owl, props to that owl. He flew up very dramatically, and they panned down.
I liked too, because you could tell that owl was a warg, because the owl comes down, and then immediately does the 180 with its head.
Yeah.
That was so awesome, and you think, well, it's obviously looking around.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And then Sam takes Gilly down to the meat locker and keeps her in there with the baby. And then you cut back up to the wall, and oh man, then the awesome fucking... my favorite part of this episode was the music. And
yes.
Oh my god, it was so dramatic and intense. And then at some parts, I kept waiting for Batman to show up. You guys are fucked. You see, in the background, there's like one shot later on in the episode, big tracking shot. See a huge battle scene. It'd been awesome if you just see like Batman fighting Bane in there. You just start while the music is playing.
Dun, 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 dun. No, you see the fire over the wall, and it's like the bat signal from Rise.
Oh man, that would have been fucking hilarious.
Which in that movie is weird, because how long did it take him to set that up, Batman?
Months.
It's a long time.
He planned that like probably in Batman Begins. He did that. Just didn't tell anybody. He's like, I might need this one day,
just in case.
But and then basically before that too, Gillian is like Sam has to explain what men do to Gilly. This is what men do. Men go up to that wall
and leave you,
kill other men.
It's a
you
promise.
You cower in this room like a good girl. Then
men keep their promises. That was the main thing. And then he tells her to make a sandwich. Have it ready when I come back.
Yeah, fresh beer. But yeah, so she's down there. He takes off. Then he's on hooks up with Pip out there by the main gate.
What I was saying before we started recording is how complicated it was. They probably had huge charts. This character's here now, here now, here now, here now.
Right.
Like, I was impressed of how coherent it was. Even like shots of them all fighting, usually the camera's shaking and you can't really tell what's going on. Like, they did a really good set piece where when Jon Snow comes down and it's just that one long tracking shot as they go around the keep.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about before. Yeah,
on.
That shot was awesome. The editing was very good in this, because this easily could have gotten out of control and very confusing. But,
once everything started happening, I started getting, when it reminded me of like in Moria, the first time you see Lord of the Rings and the goblins are coming. I was getting that same feeling. I was like, oh shit, like it's gonna go down. John's on top of the wall with
Sir Alistair was there. I'll tell you what. Alistair was one of my favorite characters in this episode. Yeah. He was fucking awesome. And they really lay down, because it's like, you're rooting for Jon Snow. You hate Sir Alistair because he doesn't like Jon Snow. And but in this episode, I was like, Alistair is right. You know what I mean? And he made such a great point. He was an awesome leader.
Yeah.
I mean,
you see his experience, and you see, like, after years of being at the wall, like, he's finally shown. This is what the show does. It makes characters you didn't like suddenly cool, and then immediately
they're
kills
killed.
them.
You know what? Alistair's my new favorite character. Oh, he's dead.
Hey, Oberyn, he's amazing. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, they just shoved a spear up his ass, and it came out his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrifying.
Wow, this giant is really cool. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Both of them are really cool.
We'll get to those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alistair was fucking awesome in this episode, and then I like to. It was funny because I like when they start, all the wildlings start to come out. You see the giants, all two giants.
The reveal of the giant, which is cool because
on the mammoth.
Same thing, boss. When you see the foot land, it's like, oh right, a giant. Wait, that's not a giant foot. And then you pan up, and it's like, oh, it's a mammoth. It was really dramatic. It was cool, and he's mounted on a mammoth. So
then shit gets real on the one, and Alistair's like, knock your arrows and draw.
They have big drums of oil.
Knock your arrows and hold, and then the one guy drops the barrel. He starts screaming at him, calling him cunts.
Yeah.
Then he gets him, like, he whips him right up, though, into, like, a fighting spear. It was awesome. But then the attack comes. Tormund and Ygritte arrive. You hear the horn. Oh, but sorry, I'm jumping all around. Not like I'm. What was it? Oh, before that, they have the great speech. There was that awesome scene with Jon Snow and Alistair, and Alistair's explaining like what it is to be a leader, and then it's saying like, okay, you were right, but if I'm a leader and I'm second guessing myself, that's it. I'm fucked, and everyone else is fucked.
Yeah.
So it's not, sometimes. It's not just about being right or wrong. It's about
taking the action,
and taking a stand, right? And don't second guess yourself. You make a decision, you have to stick with that decision.
And then you see the exact juxtaposition when the other guy, who was the head of the security at
that guy.
Castle Black. The
Kingsguard and King's Landing. Yeah,
and you see he just immediately
bunch of thieves. That's all this is.
He immediately just breaks down. He becomes like a child, and he's like, giants don't exist. Despite the fact that he's looking at giants on mammoths approaching the wall. No, they don't exist. It's like...
Yeah, I don't understand that. Here they are. It's like someone's arguing with you about the sky being blue or something.
He broke, so I hope next episode we see what happens to him, because when at the end, when you finally see him again, he's just he just looks at Sam like, doesn't say a word. He's just...
Well, that was funny. So basically, he's fucking up on the wall because Alistair has to leave to go down to fight the wildlings that have gotten into the castle, and then Janos Slynt is fucking everything up. So John takes over after what was that guy's name that sent him down and is in the gate?
Gren.
Gren. he's like, oh, I just got word Sir Alistair needs you down below. And then he's like, oh, yes. And then he goes down below, and he just immediately goes into that meat room and sees Gilly there, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, he's done. He's broken. He's going to be like in a straitjacket in the next episode. That's what I think. Well, first let's talk about the Giants. Let's talk about what they do to the front gate.
So, yeah, you see the oh, man. I think they were a father and son Giants.
Well, I can tell you right now.
Because that one Giant looked very gray, and the other one, and then when he was killed, the younger Giant went into like a Hulk state, like got that rage strength, and started just lifting the gate up on his own.
In the credits, he's just listed as Giant. He's an escort of Magmar Tun Do Weg, which is, I think, one of the Giant Kings.
Oh, so that guy, the guy that was lifting the gate, that
yes.
Magmar, he's a Giant King?
I believe so. And the other Giant was the one who shot the arrow, which was an awesome shot.
Oh, shit.
You see this one wildling run up, try and shoot it out, and it goes, it looks like it's going to make it, and then you realize it's
not even close.
And then this other Giant runs up, boom, boom, it looks like slow motion.
Destroys like one of those plank things that they're standing on.
He gets 2 shots off.
And then the other one, oh my god, it nails a guy. He goes fucking flying.
Yeah, that was great.
I wouldn't mind getting killed like that, though. That'd be pretty...
Yeah, what'd you say?
Well, then my fiance goes, that was an awesome death. And I was like, yeah, sure. Hey, I wouldn't... Getting killed by a giant's arrow? That's pretty awesome. She also thought that Janos Slint was going to try and rape Gilly in the meat and potatoes room. And I was
that thought crossed my mind for a second.
He's too scared, though, to be... He's like, oh, she's like, no, it's going to be like, oh, I got to get one more in before I go.
No, that thought crossed my mind for a second. That's because Game of Thrones, you're so used to rape going on,
exactly.
Not every left and right.
But I'm saying even this guy's like way too scared.
Yeah, his done.
Penis is inside him. It's like receded into his own body.
Then we have the group of wildlings. This guy's like SEAL Team 6 wildlings who have to climb the wall with like...
Tormund is so fucking pumped up as soon as they get the word to go.
No, I'm talking about the other side of the wall, on the ice, the guys who climb the ice.
Oh, those guys. Oh, yeah.
The guy's like, oh, they're coming up the wall. He's like, I've made that climb.
They're going to be here by dawn, probably.
And he's like, I think they're in a bigger hurry than you.
They climb up really fast.
Yeah.
They make it a long way, but then they unveil the scythe.
Yeah, near the end of the episode, you have that scythe.
Holy shit,
I can't remember, was that in the book?
I don't remember, but that thing was crazy badass.
Yeah, there were a lot of things they threw in here, like the 2 guys on top of the wall who wear like a harness, I guess, and just stand horizontal on the wall to shoot arrows directly down.
Yeah. Whoa.
I thought they were going to have a whole sequence of them just like being lowered and hanging and then just trying to hit them all.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that'd be really cool. Like, if you can get like a special regiment of people, so when they're climbing the wall, like if they get too high, I guess they could. If they get too tall, like they can go a little bit lower, and then they have like
they
long,
bungee
like,
jump.
maybe like pole arms, and they just kind of like...
Yeah, or they bungee jump, and every time you go down, you take a swing, and then you bounce back up, and you come down and start swinging again.
Or you bungee jump down, as soon as you reach the person, they just stab you in the face. And then you go back up, and there's like, oh no, Todd has a knife in his eye.
He just keeps coming up.
Like, remember Braveheart? That one guy that gets the claw in his face?
Tormund, I think, was one of the most dramatic fighters in the whole episode. Just he's wailing on people. He was like a berserker. He looks like he has throwing axes, throwing picks.
He's got it all.
I think he's like using a sword at one point.
He's got all the necessary accoutrements.
Yeah, he's flipping around. He's doing everything.
And he was really enjoying himself.
Oh, yeah.
There's one point in that big tracking shot when he's going, when the camera goes by him, you hear him going, ha, 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 like while he's wailing on somebody. Oh, man, that was fucking awesome. He was blood drunk.
And then him and Alistair get into a fight there. He gives Alistair a good slice.
That was an awesome scene. Boss yells, as soon as that guy, he goes, boss battle.
Yeah,
fight. Alistair was kicking ass. Although when he came down from the wall and he starts going, those are Thens out there. They eat the flesh of men. And also I was thinking, Sir Alistair, I'm not feeling very pumped up right now. But he got him. He turned it around.
Now, this is interesting. I'm looking at the death list for this episode. Alistair is not listed.
Well, because we don't see him die. We see him wounded, and then they bring him in. And Sam says that he's, like, fallen or something, or that he's down.
Right.
But he's, like, kind of out of commission, so I don't know if he's going to die from his wounds or if he's going to recover. I don't know what's going on. Because they really established It was surprising because this episode they established him as a strong leader. They've been doing the opposite of that in all the other episodes. They're basically saying, "Hey, look at Jon Snow. He knows what's up. You know what I mean? He's been out there. Nobody's listening to him." But in this one, he does what a good leader would do. He's basically saying, like, "Yeah, I was wrong. We should have done this, but this is how it is." He takes command. He takes control. He believes in himself. He believes in his men, and. He's really like a good leader, I thought. He's almost strong mom caliber leader.
Strong.
Almost.
All right, before John goes down in the elevator, he sends down 5 guys. He sends down
Gren,
and he says, take 5 people with you, guard the gate. Do not lose that gate. At this point, the Giants have attached a mammoth right to the main gate. What I liked first, one giant is just punching through like the outer wooden structure, attaches the hook, they start pulling it. You start dropping barrels on these guys. It's just full of oil. They do that first. Then they ignite 4 other barrels. Only 3 go down. One stays on top. The barrels explode. The mammoth's ass catches on fire.
Runs away, crushes a guy.
Unnamed giant goes... starts running after him. They shoot a ballista. Dead.
Yep.
That giant's dead.
Then
What do you think of the giant's look?
I like it.
Like the really good look. I like that a lot.
Pretty scary and imposing. It'd be silly if it just looked like a normal human, but really big.
They look like he said, I think they look like Neanderthals.
Yeah.
So after the mammoth runs off, the giant Magmar Toon the Weg goes, fuck this shit. Yeah, I was afraid he was going to get a hemorrhoid or something, but he starts lifting the gate. Gren and the other guys show up, and one guy starts completely freaking out because he's probably only heard of giants and like fairy tales.
Can you imagine like being on the other side and this slowly being lifted up, and then a giant's
it's
coming
like,
through?
If you see, Alien Greys. We've seen all the shows. Now imagine like you wake up in the middle of the night and you look in the corner of your room and you see like 3 standing there. That's
way scarier than a giant.
I think
than
it's
me looking at a giant.
as scary as that.
That's way creepier.
Okay, what if it was one gray?
That's still way creepier to me.
Okay,
because
what
I'm
if it
waking
was...
up and it's there staring at me, probably with a probe or who knows what.
Okay, what if it's not at
And
night?
then-
It's daytime in an alleyway with no one around. There's a gray like 500 feet away.
But here's the thing: I'm still being surprised by it. Okay,
Right.
This is if I knew the gray was coming, and then I'm like in my garage, and then the garage door's opening, and then the gray walks in. Okay. Then I'll take the giant as scarier than that. Okay? Because they know it's coming. It's not like, oh man, Gren's like, oh, hold on, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom. And all of a sudden he opens the door, and there's a fucking giant right there.
Right.
And he's like, what? I didn't even know you existed.
It's seeing something you thought was paranormal come to life.
Yeah.
He was freaking out.
But like I said, he already knew it was down there, and he knew it was coming. So that's why he was going. He was going down there to stop the giant.
Someone make up a comparable thing in our world, what that would be like.
It'd be funny if it was some sort of weird optical illusion where the giant looked like it was
he gets tinier and tinier.
yeah, like the tunnel's small at that end, and he looks like he's taking up the whole thing, and then he gets closer.
Oh my god!
Gets
And the way
tiny.
like the torches, like the tunnel, like the shadow is like gigantic, and then it starts to shrink as it gets closer and closer.
He's like
and they're
4
like,
feet.
"What the fuck?" And they just kick it away.
And he goes like... You ever see that? Like Ripley's Believe It or Not, they have those rooms where you set your camera in one spot, one person stands in this part of the room and this part, and it makes this person look tiny and this one giant.
Oh, they just have forced perspective?
Yeah, and then you switch places and then the other person looks like a giant. And
that's cool.
That's
that would be fun to do in like the Lord of the Rings park if they ever made that.
Right, the theme park for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
the Harry Potter got one.
Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, here, Tolkien Estate would love that.
So anyway, yeah, they would. Oh my god, yeah, no, that's probably why it never happened. Oh well, should we say continue with that? The giant. So then, when that giant breaks through, Grant and the other guys go down there. They start reciting that one guy starts freaking out, like you said. Mm-hmm. Then
they start reciting the oath.
They start reciting the oath, yeah, and then
which was perfectly timed, so that just as they finish.
And also Grant and then a bunch of other guys, they draw their swords at the exact same time, and then they all go, yeah! And then it cuts, and then you don't see them until like the end of the episode, basically, where the giant has been slain, but the giant managed to kill everyone else as well.
Yeah, I kind of wish I saw how that went down. Like, that could be pricey.
Also, I just don't think it was in the budget. I mean, they only had 2 giants in this episode.
Yeah.
And 1 mammoth.
Which brings up another point about Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
It bothered me a little because the setup for Ghost was so cool. They're going down the elevator. Sam goes up to get John. They start coming down, and then John hands Sam the key, and he's like, I need him more than I need you. And when I first saw the episode, I was like, who's he talking about?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's right. So the second Sam opens the door, you see Ghost, and I was like, oh. And then you go to this cool first-person shot of the wolf. And I was like, here we go. And then I was just imagining in my head, like, everyone fighting, and you just see Wolf, just as a flash going,
yeah.
And then, like,
That
the
would
other
have
way.
been fucking awesome.
But they just showed Wolf grab a guy, start eating.
Never see him again.
Just completely
You don't even
distracted
see him.
for the rest of the battle.
Yeah. You don't even see him walking around after the battle with Jon Snow. And he doesn't leave with Jon Snow when Jon Snow goes out because he has to meet Mance.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense.
It's the budget.
It is. I know it is, but it's just
expensive.
disappointing.
Effects. With what they had, they did it
a very good
brilliantly.
job. Yeah. I also thought, did you think that the fire was going to be bigger? I mean, obviously
No.
that's a massive fire because from where you're looking from the perspective of the wall.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
Put yourself in their shoes.
I mean, the biggest fire the North has ever seen.
Think
Those
about
are
it.
pretty mighty strong words.
Yeah, but these
there.
people, they don't live in our world. They don't go to see IMAX movies. Like, every day it's just wondering, oh, am I going to eat?
Yeah, I
am
guess
I
I
going to
expected
die?
like the entire horizon to be on fire.
That's to them.
Unrealistic.
That's probably what they thought.
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
probably when they write the history books. Anyone who survives, that they're going to write as like the entire North was lit.
Yeah.
For
I
one
wonder-
day alone, the cold North was the hottest place in Westeros.
Hotter
or
than
something
the
like
Seven Hills. Yeah, I wonder how, like, what area of space that fire actually took up.
Pretty big.
Probably a massive number of acres.
One of the more dramatic deaths is one of Boss's favorite characters,
Yeah.
Egret.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Oh,
Egret,
yeah.
that whole approach that they did to the front gate, where those shots where she's like shooting the arrows,
Dodging.
yeah, that looked like a video game, and it
Yeah.
looked really cool. And then whoosh, one goes by,
She's
and
got cat-like reflexes. I liked, there were a lot of, like...
She kills
like
Pip.
first-person shooter-style shots where, it, like, you see, like, just her hands and arms, like, pointing the bow and arrow and shooting and killing guys. It was crazy. Now, she killed Pip. Pip got an arrow through the neck. Right before that happened, Boss goes, this guy's gonna die. Arrow in the neck. A minute later, that's exactly what happened. And, he goes, Egret arrow. And then, like 30 seconds
Who
later,
else's
that's what
arrow
happens.
is it gonna be,
and then
really?
I know, but it was just funny.
Sam this whole time has been supplying Pip with loaded crossbows. Sam's trying to stay low. I guess he considers himself a pretty big
He
target.
gets his own shot off on a Then coming right at him.
Yeah, right at the last second.
Yeah. Then he goes to get Gilly.
Well, after
Yeah,
Pip
right.
dies, he's going to get John, and then
Oh, right. No,
he
I'm
tells
sorry. Yeah, he
Ollie,
tells- yeah.
the little kid who mans the little pulley system. You just put it this way, it goes up. Pull it that way, it goes
Yeah.
down. He says, "Send me up. The second I give it to him, send me down." But in the meantime, try and kill someone.
Yeah, find a weapon and fight them.
And I was
then,
trying to
he
think-
looks down and he sees a bow.
I was trying to think of the reasoning. If you want the kid to be ready to bring you back down, if that kid's dead, no one else is going to be there to bring you back down. Why would you tell this little kid to fight? He's going to die.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
But I was
Until-
thinking maybe that's his way of trying to get the kid motivated so he doesn't just cower there the whole time.
Because I think so, because he wasn't even able to muster the strength to get up and raise the elevator to bring Sam up.
Yeah.
So that kind of, but he already motivated him to do that. Then he says it.
He goes up, gets John. John comes down.
We already talked about that.
Ghost.
Then we were on Egret's death there, and then
Well,
basically,
Egret's death.
oh yeah. Well, so what happens?
ties
is
in with
John,
Ollie.
John is fighting that main Then guy.
Yeah, what's his name?
Steer or Styer?
Styer. Bald head with the crazy stuff. He
Yeah.
has a two-handed battle axe, which sometimes it looks like he's wielding with one hand. John and him get into a super cool fight. Egret's there. He's looking at the whole thing. And the first thing you're thinking is like, oh, she's going to kill this
Right.
guy.
But then he crushed it. I don't know how Jon Snow. So we were talking about this. Jon Snow should be dead or like
Have no teeth.
and be like mentally challenged.
Yeah, when he gets anvil faced.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
half his brain
the thing,
should be.
I was
hanging out of
reading a
his
thing
head.
online. A guy was saying that whole sequence was to show how John is being forged into a man. First, he's slammed on an anvil and then thrown over the fire, and then yeah,
and then the hammer.
Dumb. Tell that guy no.
it's not a guy. It's just something I don't know who said it.
Tell him no. Then
I thought that
I
was
gotta
interesting.
get another hobby.
tell the internet no.
I thought that was an interesting thing.
That is very interesting.
I don't think so.
But I still think that. I mean, how does he survive that crack to the anvil?
Yeah.
That would have knocked him out. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he would have had no teeth. He still has
I'm
teeth.
telling you, his skull would have been cracked open.
Yeah, it was-
I mean, dude, that guy
an
is like
anvil.
8 feet tall, He's fucking enormous. You were just saying how he's whipping that gigantic two-handed axe around with like one hand, and he is like not even out of breath, and he's going crazy. He's been fighting like the whole time before Jon Snow got down there.
There's some parts where it's just him, and he's kind of like hopping down and going through like a little handrail thing. It looks like they sped up the film a little bit just to make it like.
Oh yeah.
And then one part he takes out like a weapon rack.
Yeah.
Even it looks like they took out like a frame or two there where it's just.
When he like slams him down, there's like this splat of blood. I actually thought that teeth did go flying, but they didn't.
Jon spits right in his face.
Yeah.
Which is the same tactic that Carl Tanner, the guy who dual-wielded 2 knives at Craster's.
Did to Jon?
Yeah, he spit right in his face.
He's
and
learning.
basically told him like don't fight fair because he's always fighting with honor.
Yeah.
Just showing him like that was like another part of the metaphor that he's
Fight to
becoming a man.
survive.
And and then lastly he sees the woman he loves die right in front of him in his arms.
That means he's finally a man.
I think
we've all been there, right, fellas?
Yeah. So until all of that stuff happens, you're not a man.
Yeah, well, basically. So long story short, after he somehow survives that crack to the anvil and gets thrown over the fire, he takes the hammer, cracks that guy's skull open like an egg, turns Egret's there, about to shoot him, then he's like, figures.
She presents her ginger minge.
Yeah. What are we doing? He's just smiling, laughing. He's like, oh, man. Yeah, freeze frame and laughter.
Hi, I'm George R. Martin. I changed everything.
Yeah. Tonight's episode of Game of Thrones is brought to you by...
Sitting in a chair with a fireplace in the background.
I changed everything. Fuck you! He just goes, flips us off.
There's chugging margaritas.
He's on an island. He's on a beach.
Cash money, bitch.
And then
Ollie kills Egret.
Ollie kills Egret, but he doesn't just kill Egret. Okay, all right. Then because the arrow goes
strikes
through.
a pose.
Yeah, so the arrow goes through Egret. Egret's back comes out through her chest, and then Jon grabs her. Then he looks up where the shot came from, and Ollie's there doing like a Captain Morgan stance, holding his fucking like arrow, like trying to like flex a bicep while he's holding the bow, and then he just gives like a nod, like yeah, sup. Like one of those things, he just kind of like lifts a chin.
Yeah, it's like you're welcome, Jon.
Yeah, that's right. You owe me.
You owe me now.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Which just adds to the complexity of emotions.
I mean, talk about. Jeez,
you can't blame the kid.
Kid shoots one arrow. All of a sudden, he's got all the confidence in the world. 5 seconds ago, he's shitting in his britches.
And also, you can kind of blame Sam for saying pick up a weapon.
Sam killed Egret.
Yeah, so many things.
This is an impressionable young mind. He wasn't a killer. He belongs in school. He belongs back home eating his mom's boiled potatoes because that's what she does best.
That's right.
That was hilarious. It really took me out of the moment, that shot.
Really?
Just like, yeah, because it's ridiculous looking.
It is ridiculous, but I was like...
It is really
Sup?
over the top.
What's up? Yeah.
I felt like
Ollie the Bowmaster.
It's like he's Robin Hood or some shit.
Yeah. It would have been funny if he, like, skipped away at the after that nod.
Yeah.
He's like,
a little pirouette.
Yeah. Spin move.
To me, it felt
and out of the
very
frame.
much how it should have been, where it's just like, the fuck happened? He did... Game of Thrones is all about toying with your emotions and like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Why am I watching this? Like,
it would have been funny if Jon Snow was like...
Spitting
like
teeth at
Egret
Egret.
dies, they have their like emotional farewell, like they have, which is very true to the book, like her last line.
Oh, yeah,
Here
but then
it
talk
is,
about
I'm
her
watching.
last words.
Hold on. This whole thing was ridiculous. The smile. There were so many things that...
Really? I don't see it as ridiculous at all.
Ollie standing there is ridiculous.
I mean,
so ridiculous.
it
Are you
looks
kidding me?
it looks kind of funny, but it works for me.
It's
I don't know.
really funny.
It
yes.
looks really
I
funny.
think
It's funny because it's a
hilarious.
kid trying to
Yeah,
act
exactly.
like, oh, look at me.
Yeah.
Especially when the last time we saw him, he was literally taking a shit.
Literally.
Literally shitting.
Everyone could smell it.
That's why Sam was going up to the wall. He's like, I gotta go away from this stench.
God.
Yeah, and then what I think it'd be funny if after like they say their goodbye, John's like, Ollie! And then he just hunts him down, starts beating the shit out of him.
Her last words are,
He starts spanking him.
I never should have left that cave. We'll go back there. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Dead. Because of Ollie and Sam.
Ollie the killer. The ginger minge killer.
Ollie the killer. That's sounds pretty cool, actually. Because there's like a not coolness because his name is Ollie.
Ollie Ginger Minge
And then-
Bane.
Oh.
That's his name now. That's how I'm going to refer to that kid from now on.
Ollie Gingerminge Bane?
Yeah.
That's hard to say.
He only kills ginger
Ollie
minges.
Ollie, say that 3 times fast. Ollie Gingerminge Bane. Ollie Gingerminge Bane. Ollie Gingerminge.
Anyway,
right,
back
on.
to the gate. Giant charged. Those guys are all dead. We see them later.
Yep.
First thought in my mind is burn that fucking giant corpse as fast as you can, because that is not a white you want to deal with.
Yeah. Oh my god.
In fact, part of me was thinking, oh my god. I thought, like, as he's closing his eyes, the giant's eye was going to open up and it was going to be blue, and he was going to wake up, and then there was going to be one final little fight. Because I thought they had enough time for, like, one final really cool thing.
Amazing.
Or that would be a good, like, end of the episode. Like, as you see Jon Snow departs the gate.
Nah, see, that's
like
too...
very similar to the very beginning of the series. Actually, that first shot is the gate opening and the blinding light from the other side.
But you would want the episode to end as the giant's eye opens?
No, I wouldn't actually want it. I'm just talking
horrible.
about the
That's
scenario
like the end of
where, like,
Godzilla.
right at the end, all of a sudden he's like, boom.
That's like Calgon at the end of Space Mutiny. It's exactly that.
And his eyes open.
Come on, just do it.
Well,
do it.
It wouldn't be as drawn out as that. Also, Calgon is one of the greatest villains in cinema history.
Oh, he's a great.
To me, it's Hannibal Lecter, Calgon,
and that actor
the
for
Terminator
Calgon,
from Terminator 2.
That actor for Calgon was also the actor in Diabolic, the season finale of Mystery Science Theater. That was him. He was Diabolic.
Yes, that's right, with the clown gas.
Yeah. Man, they never made a sequel to Space Mutiny. They can't get Red Brown back.
They just splice in shots from, like, Battlestar, like a Battlestar.
Yeah, the old
going by.
Battlestar
Yeah.
from the 70s.
It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that
man.
now. I haven't seen that.
I want the guy who directed Final Sacrifice to make Space Mutiny 2. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, watch the Mystery Science Theater for Space Mutiny.
If you don't know Mystery Science Theater and you're listening to us, that's a problem.
I'm pretty sure everybody listens to us knows what Mystery Science Theater is.
I hope so.
Okay,
all right, so John, in a massive state of depression, decides he's going to kill himself by marching off to the north, or
like, I've given up, he says.
Or he finally realizes there's only one way to stop this. It's a really horrible plan, Sam. I know it is, but
the only way to stop this is to have a heart-to-heart with Mance Rayder.
Yeah, and not only is he going out there, he's going out there unarmed.
A romance, if you will.
A bromance?
Hand Sam.
There you go.
A fromance? Frozen romance? Because they're in the right, guys? Guys?
Nah.
Guys?
I like the bromance. Just not the bromance.
What were you saying, Oxnard?
Bromance Raider.
Nah, edit that.
Sam is upset that John's leaving. Says,
well, it's a terrible idea. And Jon Snow is taking a book out of Alistair's page. Mm-hmm. Now, he's like, yeah, I know it's a bad decision.
He was in the library
but I'm just
all night.
going to do it anyway. Because I'm a man, I'm a leader, and I'm sticking to it.
Sticking to my guns.
Plus, he honestly thinks that there's no other way except to kill Mance Rayder somehow, because he's the only thing. He's the glue that's holding all the wildling groups together. Once he's gone,
they'll
all
scattered.
disband. They'll start killing each other again.
I like the way he worded it. He said, "They'll fight amongst themselves and they'll scatter their way back home and stuff like that." And always like the way I like the verbiage.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were right the whole time.
And not only does he leave without a sword, he leaves without Ghost. He's just going. I think you might as well just take his pants
off.
off.
You want to take Ghost? Not in the budget. Not in the budget, mate.
That's the director,
Neil Marshall.
It's not in the bloody budget,
not in the budget, mate. He's just yelling at the actor.
I only strike at merger impose.
Pardon me, Mr. Director, sir. Shouldn't I be taking my ghost pet with me? Not in the budget, mate. Get the fucking move on.
Didn't you see the detail on the bloody mammoth?
You cunt.
Everyone's a cunt.
Everyone's a cunt, according to Neil Marshall. Neil Marshall's a tyrant.
My God, it's worse than what's his name who did Avatar?
Michael Bay. Oh, James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Michael Bay has a reputation of screaming and being a dickhead to actors too. Only shooting at the magic hour. I want Michael Bay to direct an episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh wow. They should, if the show's
I'm just
ever
kidding.
If the show's ever about
I don't
to
want
be,
to hear that in the comments.
Remember in Lost, they said if they're ever going to get canceled, they're just going to do a zombie season or something.
Oh yeah.
They said, well, fuck it, we'll just do a zombie season. They
That'd
should do
be
that.
hilarious.
If Game of Thrones is ever about to get canceled, they're going to get every horrible. Roland Emmerich. They're going to do the last 3 episodes
And turn it into like a vampire romance story.
Yeah. They probably can't even hire those guys. Not in the budget, mate.
Not in the fucking budget, mate. You fucking
All
cunt.
this got is me.
You wanker.
So that was pretty much it. That's our review of The Watchers on the Wall.
Pretty good, right?
And now we're going to move on to our segment.
What did boss think? Hey, boss, let me move this
What
over
did
here
boss
for you.
think? What did boss think?
What's on his mind?
What's
Penny
on
for
his
your thoughts,
mind?
motherfucker.
Penny for your thoughts, boss. What did you think on such a summer's eve?
Hey guys, what's going on? First and foremost, I was very pleased with the Giants, and I, like you said, I was tricked by the foot. I was like, what it don't look like a giant foot, and then they pan to a mammoth with a giant on it. I was like talking crazy.
You did start
It was
screaming.
great.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
boss
funny.
was clapping. It
Yeah.
reminded me of a chimpanzee. It's like, you know when a chimpanzee in a zoo goes really happy?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was me.
And
Yeah,
he started jerking off and flinging shit.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It
we had
was
to pause
awesome.
for a while and clean up.
We were standing at the corner of the room in horror for a little while.
Shaking our heads, mouths agape, which was a mistake.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was good. I'm very sad that they cut the fight with the giant at the gates.
Yeah.
budget, mate.
No, the bloody fucking budget!
should have
Neil
saved
Marshall here.
something.
What you want done?
that would've
We'd
been
like a little
so
scene with them.
good.
Not in the fucking budget, mate! What?
That would have been awesome.
Would have been. How did you think that fight went down? Because I imagine the giant was kind of reaching through the bar.
No idea.
I don't think the initial charge knocked down the gate.
Yeah, my initial thoughts were he just kept bashing it as they tried to like poke at him with their swords, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really.
Yeah.
And they
hurting
did
him
say he
enough.
has like 20 hours in him already, so
Right.
he's already weakened. And also, he just lifted the fucking heaviest thing.
And he ran at full speed
Yeah.
down to the end. Oh yeah, and I imagine it's something like kind of like when that cave troll comes into the Balin's tomb in the mines of Moria, how they're kind of just like hacking away at it. I mean, they didn't kill it the same way, but you
I always
know,
felt bad
it's
for
kind
that
of-
cave troll.
Yeah, because it's like really has no will of its own. It's being
Yeah.
led in by a
He's
chain and
dumb.
collar
He's
like a
just dumb,
leash.
and they just
Yeah.
kind of throw him. And he's not. He tries to kill everything. Orcs are being taken out.
Yeah, he's got. Well, I mean, he's just pissed off. Tragic.
I'm pretty sure that giant would have won that fight if he had a flail on him.
Or you know what? I wonder what kind of give that giant a morning star.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
just a spear. Doesn't he have that huge crowbar that he was using? He should have picked that
Yeah.
up, like Indiana Jones style, as the gate fell down, and he just starts like poking people.
Can you imagine, like, as all of a sudden he reaches back before the gate goes, he pulls out a massive fedora?
or just like a huge sledge
Oh, that would have been cool if he had like a big whip.
or a hammer, like a battle hammer.
I imagine he might have had a whip, like, or something like that for the mammoth or something. I don't know how they treat their mammoths.
But like if
I
he
think
had
they
a
just
huge
pull him like a horse.
giant
They're
weapon,
so
he would have
big.
got through
Yeah.
so easy. I think.
The only little touch with the giants I wish they put in is them maybe saying a few words. Just make up a few commands like, and then like
I think they were
the mammoth
talking.
would-
They
way a
were saying
giant would
shit
sound
and
like that.
grumbling, and there was a lot of giant.
There was a lot of
grumbling.
screaming. They went.
There was a
like,
lot of like that kind of stuff.
yeah, maybe
as
their
he's
voices
lifting
are
the
so
gate.
deep that
Yeah.
you can't even. It's just
I
inaudible.
think so. Yeah, I like their
It
voices.
just shakes
too.
you inside,
Yeah.
like when you hear bass.
or maybe,
Or when you go down really fast roller coaster and you feel it down
your
there.
balls.
That's what you
penis-
feel
when
like
your
when
penis tickles
yeah
as you go
when a
down.
giant speaks to you. That's what it feels like. 'Cause
That's what
it's
my
so,
brother
the
said.
vibrations.
It's like we were in Disney World or something, and my little brother gets off the ride, and my dad's like, "Oh, what'd you think?" And he goes, "It was pretty good. Made my penis tickle."
Women
Feel
will
free to
never
cut
know.
that out.
no.
Yeah, leave it in. I don't care. It's
Gonna
not
loop
about
it.
me. It's about my stupid brother.
Sure, it was.
No, but it's
Yeah,
like
right.
with the Giants talking. Damn, I don't have a brother. Damn, it's me.
With the giants talking.
Oh, like when you said like you can't even maybe like tigers when they communicate they can growl at such a low
yeah.
decibel level that we can't
elephants.
detect. Yeah, and elephants
Elephants
communicate
make
too.
that kind
Yeah,
of
so
sound.
maybe giants kind of speak in that way. That'd be really cool.
Like
That's why they speak to the mammoths, because they speak real low.
That's right.
Oh, connection!
Cracked it wide
Parallels!
open. Yes.
The northern biology cracked. The code is cracked.
You're welcome.
all right.
World. I'm pretty sure it was just not in the fucking budget. Not in the bloody budget,
Well,
mate.
I have a question about.
cock,
I have a
you
couple questions
marshal.
about the fire. I mean, what happens when the fire spreads? Like, where's their camp? In front of it? Behind it? Like,
I
are
think
they
the
cutting
camp
themselves
caught fire.
off?
When Jon
Uh,
Snow finds Mance, he's already dead. He's burned.
Are they
to
going to be surrounded by the?
Like,
yeah, are they going to
mangled
be
and
surrounded
charred.
by the fire?
I think this is how I would do it.
Are they burning all their surrounding
Here's
resources?
how I would do it.
We
If
gotta
I-
burn our own houses down. That'll show them.
If I was Mance, I would say, okay, let's make a perimeter. Everyone stand, and we're gonna cut down this line of trees.
I was Mance.
Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening. Let's have
So
it.
now you. All right, forget it.
No, I'm just kidding. Come on.
Cut down a line of trees.
Yeah, so that way you have
A perimeter, like
a perimeter.
Right. Like
Yeah.
set something
Right.
specific that you're going to burn.
Yeah.
I also had another
But he
idea.
didn't do that. It's just like a big wad of flame.
Well, we haven't seen it up close. We just saw it from the wall.
That's true.
The moment I asked that question, I thought of something else. Maybe the fire is actually behind their camp and it's holding off a white army.
That might have been true too.
Boss said
about
something. Boss said something really interesting last week. He said he thought that Mance's entire army, when they show up,
Yes.
were all just going to be whites.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I was thinking it would be cool if they could some way like launch whites or get whites like into over
Get the
wall.
white pulse.
Like just like a trebuchet that like is connected to like a white's like a rope around a white's neck and just flies. I mean, they're already dead. What do you got to lose? It's not like you're losing.
Or just
that.
get one of the giants, tie all the whites to his arrow, and just launch it over the
yeah,
wall.
there you go.
Oh yeah, that was really.
See, this is the
awesome
kind
when
of
they shot
creative
that
thinking that we need to be on Mance's side to get this shit done.
This is why. Yeah, this is. I don't have confidence in Mance right now.
Yeah, but
I
they
don't
say
think
at the
he's gonna
end.
take our
They
ideas.
say at the end that attack was just to test our defenses.
Well, that's the beginning, right?
Yeah.
That's the very beginning. They said they're going to attack us again tonight.
And I have one prediction. Maybe as they're attacking, because it's going to be like a long attack, I guess. The whites start attacking as they're sieging the wall. Maybe that's my other.
Oh, so like the wildlings start getting attacked
Right.
by whites? Okay.
I'm expecting whites, obviously.
Yeah, that might very well happen.
I mean, a few
I also-
episodes ago, we learned more about the whites
Whoa.
and
Yeah, then we haven't seen anything about them since. It was like that fucking mind-blowing
that
shot.
blew everyone's mind.
Whoa, I forgot about
Readers
that.
of the book,
That's
like
crazy.
that is what?
And
That was intense.
I have sort of some questions for the viewers. I like ranking, you know? I don't know why. I just do it.
Ranking?
I want to know who would win in these fights that will never happen, like Tormund
Well,
versus Prince Oberyn and
Let's talk hypotheticals.
Dario versus Barristan Selmy
Okay.
and Bronn versus the Hound, things like that. Mix and match them. Who's, like, make a tier
Oh,
list.
yeah, you know,
Dario
let's get-
Who's
versus
the
Barristan
best?
Selmy?
and,
I don't
and
know, yeah.
explain why that person would win. Let's have
Yeah.
your scenario, your battle scenario.
Well,
Like, how does Tormund rank? I think Tormund's pretty freaking
one
awesome.
little animation project I started had to be like a year or two ago. I was just sketching it out, and I was playing around with it in Flash. I was gonna animate like if there was like a fighter game for like a tournament fighter,
Yeah.
and I was gonna have it be like just show quick clips, and it was gonna be ridiculous. It would be like Tyrion versus Caitlyn, and in the background is like the inn where like she takes him. You know, like Street Fighter, there's always people in the background
yeah,
like
yeah.
doing like two moves.
Yeah.
Like sailors on the dock.
And I was trying to
Ted
think of
is
like
fighting Ryu.
I was trying to think of like stupid background locations.
For some reason, I'm thinking Mance Raider would be M. Bison. Yeah, always doing like that
Oh,
slide.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
that
know
slide
why.
was so cheap.
Oh yeah, and I also got to say Tormund's awesome. I love his
Tormund just goes
crazy
pure,
noises when
and
he's
he's just a beast.
He
like
is.
so
He's a
animalistic.
beast. That's what it is. He's freaking crazy.
What I
love
liked
it.
was after he fought Sir Alistair, he slices Sir Alistair's like across the gut, and then he rolls away to safety onto some hay.
I thought he was going to jump down and just spear him.
No, but instead he turns around and just starts wailing on this guy. That guy didn't have a chance. What was he thinking?
I like-
And he just
yeah,
they show him,
with
he
the
hits him,
shield.
like 4 times.
Yeah,
He's just going.
yeah. He's just cowering with
It
his
was
shield. It was awesome.
insane.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Oh, so I want to talk about. We forgot to talk about Tormund. He slowly accumulates a few arrows in his
Arrows, probably
body,
a few cuts and bruises, a few
Yeah.
punches in the face.
and he's really like the last one left. He's the last man standing, essentially, for the wildlings.
and he's not quitting.
No, he's not. This is how a man dies, and he's still going at it. And then John basically shoots another arrow into his side,
Which I thought he
disarms
was gonna die.
him. Yeah, but
His
he.
thigh, yeah.
Oh, was this? Oh, I'm sorry. Was
Yeah,
this
I
thigh?
checked it out the second time.
Okay. Good
I
job.
studied,
Good
I
job.
paused
Yeah.
it.
Good job.
Wait,
they say
pause
put him
that.
in chains. We're
Enhance.
gonna. Yeah, go in on that.
Look at the reflection in John's eye. Enhance. Turn. Increase thermodynamics. Contrast. There's your man. License plate number. Jormund. Tormund.
His name. It's, like,
Jormund.
right next to his name.
I confused Jorah and Tormund.
So, and then they basically captured Tormund and put him in chains. And then, as he's being dragged away to be put in a jail cell, he's screaming at John, "I should have thrown you off the top of the wall." And then I thought it was funny because John whispers to himself, but not really whispers. He just kind of says as he's walking away, "Yeah, you should have." And I hate when they do that in shows or in a movie because it's like, "Yeah, you should have." Say it to their face.
It was dumb, yeah.
I'm always waiting for someone to say, "What? Did you say something? Did you say something to me, you fucking asshole?"
Well, maybe they did, but they cut away before that could happen.
No, Neil Marsh's like, "It's not in the fucking book. I didn't fucking tell you to say that line, you fucking cunt."
Okay, we're going to get to your comments now. Last week, the episode came out very delayed. It was just technical shit. This week, it's not happening because I'm making sure I have time.
We're not, at like some high-tech facility. We're at a guy's
What are you talking
basement.
Look
with
at
a computer that he made himself.
Look at the audio room we built. Look at the paneling on the wall. It absorbs all the sounds.
Look at this brand new television we watched the show on.
It's not like we're surrounded by cheap drywall, which may or may not be moldy.
Great, yeah.
His television is... I remember, like, 20 years ago, I was jealous of this television.
Yeah, really.
More than that.
Yeah, because when we were in, like, 5th grade, I was like, wow, this TV is incredible. I want this TV. And then it's like a gigantic, those big screen projection TVs. Now it's, huge.
It's not in the fucking budget, mate.
How much does this thing weigh?
I don't know. It's heavier than...
How did you get it down here?
Don't ask.
He built it.
I built it myself. All right, Daniel Plainview. At the 1334 mark, Oxnard makes the greatest observation of anyone at any point this season when he says that Ramsay Bolton's father is older than Ramsay is. Wow, no shit, Stephen Hawking. Wow.
Oh, yeah, fuck you.
I pissed him off.
I didn't even notice, too. It was the funny part.
Daniel Plainview cannot abide stupidity.
That's right.
As far as a night goes, how about the Sprite Night? Family motto, obey your thirst for refreshing justice. Weapon of choice, a slingshot that shoots lemons and limes.
Oh, wow.
Refreshing. You hear that, Sprite?
There you go.
You hear that, Coca-Cola Corporation? Send us free Sprite.
Oh, he also says, I think you can interpret Tyrion's questioning of his cousin's beetle genocide as a question about God, Eli. Or in their case, the gods. Why do they kill so many of us? Woof, 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 woof. So whimsically, how do they decide who they kill? Is it just random? Is it whoever happens to be within their gaze at the time, like Orson and his beetles? Or could they just replace the gods with the rulers of the land, and the question is the kind of the same? Why is life so cheap to them? You could also take it to mean that the mountain is cousin Orson, just mindlessly killing droves of people, because they happen to be near him, and killing is what he does.
Well, that's a good point there.
That's a head scratcher. Mm-hmm. It's one of them thinking comments. Thinking man's comments.
Well, as we clearly know, Oxnard does not care to do that kind of thinking.
Yeah, and in case you didn't realize...
Unless he's pondering the ages of parents and their children. Who is older?
Yeah, you know, the mountain, the hound's brother, is also the hound's brother.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also the mountain...
Did you know that the hound and the mountain, they're brothers and they're related?
Do you know that the hound's brother is a man?
What? Did you know that the hound and his brother, the mountain, have the same parents?
Shit.
And King Joffrey, the child king, at the time when he was king, was actually very young. Claire Gray responded to Daniel Plainview's second comment by saying, God equals JRRM, mindlessly killing our favorite characters.
JRRM?
Yeah, George R.R. Martin.
Is it Jorge?
Jorge Rodriguez
Roberto
Martinez. Mindlessly killing our favorite characters. Grr, indeed.
All right.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah.
I agree, Claire. Big grr. We're over it.
Orcs Hardy, King Blinder Knight. All lords are blind, only the knights see the truth. That's his motto. His weapon, the hammer, and his fingers, all those who fall before him will have their last sight be his thumbs crushing their eyes. No period. See, a comma is handy here, dude.
How about some punctuation here, bro?
I'll figure out what he said, and it'll make sense. Mm-hmm. Hudieth, Davos friend, the K-Nugget Knight.
What is this? What are people doing here?
I don't. This is
what?
Their idea for a night.
Wait, what? Should I say that again?
Davos.
Oh, okay.
Friend.
Davos friend.
The K-Nugget. Capital K dash Nugget. Knight.
What is that referring
What does that
to?
mean?
K-Nugget?
Who said that?
It sounds like
Hoodief.
Hoodief?
Hoodie.
Hoodief. I don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe Hoodief doesn't realize we don't know his friend K Nugget.
Yeah,
we're supposed
wait,
to understand that
Hoodief,
reference. It's like an inside joke.
I'm afraid to have him explain what a K Nugget is.
Davos, he spelled
Are we on hip now?
He spelled
Do we not know
Davos.
what a K Nugget is?
This is like popular.
Like
This is
one
like an
time,
internet
one
meme
time
or
I was watching
something.
an episode of Conan, and he's like by the audience, and a guy was given a shocker symbol, and then Conan goes, "Oh, what's that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's a shocker." And then I felt like embarrassed for Conan because he clearly had no idea what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he should probably know.
So is that what's happening to us now?
I think so, yeah.
No,
And like
here's
a
another-
K nugget is like some weird.
There's
thing
another
that everybody knows
clue.
but us.
There's another clue. He spelled Davos with 2 A's. Daavos.
Does he say? Is it Davos?
Is that
In the
enough?
book?
That's a clue?
I'm
that what it
gonna
is in the book?
do some very mild research and see if this makes sense.
So wait, the second A is what causes the K nugget?
I'm a little confused.
I
I
don't
like
know.
Nugget made me hungry, though. Good job doing that.
Like, does he mean curd nugget?
I thought of chicken nuggets. Like KFC nuggets?
Curd chicken?
Like
KFC nuggets? K maybe, but why wouldn't he put KFC nuggets?
He
is
got
so
lazy.
lazy.
Yeah, you know, it's like, they'll know what it means. Well, you were wrong.
Yeah, lazy Hoodief or whatever his name is.
Sildari quotes, I think, Boss from last episode. You think he's gonna be okay? LMAO. I think I'm gonna miss your Oberyn impersonations more than I will Oberyn. Great review, guys.
Well, check out if you want more Oberyn impersonations. Check out our side quill parts 1 and 2
with Guillermo.
Yes.
It's Oberyn before Oberyn.
Yes, he's exactly like him.
It's
but
weird.
It is weird.
That
how
kind
much
of
he-
ruined. It almost ruined Oberyn for me.
He's not exactly
I almost couldn't watch him in the show.
he's
but-
very like him, but he's instead
No.
he's not awesome. He's a pussy.
Well, he's not a pussy. I wouldn't say he's a pussy. He just wants.
He's a little bit.
No way.
Slightly inept.
No
He's a
way.
mama's boy.
No. Well, he's certainly a mama. He loves his mama. But take care of mama.
Yeah, definitely watch our second cycle. You don't need to know any other D&D episodes for that. You can just watch that.
Just to
on
watch
its
that cycle. Yeah, but no. Guillermo wishes he is. Like, he would aspire to be what Oberyn was. Like,
Right,
in his
exactly,
mind,
yeah.
he's Oberyn, but
Right,
he was
yeah.
anything. He was so far from Oberyn
Right.
in reality. Oh,
I would say 98% of whoever's watching this has no
Right,
idea
exactly.
what we're
Yeah,
referring
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
Well, 'cause they gotta
should.
watch
They gotta
the
watch
D&D.
the sequel. I'm the DM. It's awesome. Next.
One, Baker Eastnuben. Sansa looks like Melisandre and Black Swan combined.
and Black Swan.
Yeah, you ever see Black Swan?
Nope, never seen it.
The
Oh,
ballet?
with Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Darren
Okay.
Aronofsky?
Yeah. Natalie Portman. Yeah.
You
I've
never
seen
saw
that.
it?
Yeah, I saw that. Mila Kunis. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. All right. Calm down.
Telling me I didn't see it? You agree with it? I don't agree with. I don't see it.
Okay. I said she looked like the sorceress from Final Fantasy VIII. Sounds
Oh, okay.
like she
Oh,
looks
so wait,
evil.
now wait, now. Okay, I have a question for you because this was a debate in my house about Sansa's hair in that episode. Did she dye her hair?
No, I think she was. Oh well, looked extra red, but it.
Oh, see, because everyone was saying when she walks down and she's in the gown when after Peter is talking to Robin there or whatever.
Yeah, but she's
it's like her hair looks very dark.
she's silhouetted.
That's what I was saying. Everybody's like, no. My brother and my fiance were like, oh, she dyed her
Well,
hair.
you're talking to people who have no fucking knowledge of how cameras work and how light works. All right.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Fuck you, my future wife and my stupid brother.
Everything looks darker when you put bright lights behind it. Look at a Spielberg movie.
That's true.
Vank73. Ooh, the Boss Knight, slaying his foes with the deadly Dexter and Oxnard puppets on a string.
What?
Yeah, I guess
You're
choking
them? You're the puppet master.
his motto is
You're flinging
wine,
us around.
wine, women, tits, and gore. Give us some more.
That's a good motto.
All right,
I like it. I approve.
I'm surprised you haven't come up with that motto on your own before.
Yeah, I know.
Wine, women, tits, and gore. Please
This guy
give
knows
us some
me
more.
more than I know myself.
Oh, he gave 2 night ideas. The Wild Wings night.
Yeah.
Last week when Mike's talking about.
No, I said it twice. 2 weeks in a row I said it.
Yeah, we were talking about the Wild Wings.
That are the wild
He kept
wings.
saying Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Basting his enemies in blazing sauce. Sigil the flayed chicken.
That's awesome. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that'd be funny. Like the picture, it's just like that basket that you dip in the deep fryer with the chicken sitting in it.
Right.
His motto is finger licking badasses. That's the winner. That's the one. There's always one night
that's
that
a clear winner.
I spend a little more time on.
Winner.
That was good.
Wild
well,
Wings.
I don't know about this. Is it that? Especially, there wasn't much competition. Well, I don't know what this fucking Cake Nugget night is.
All right, you won, man.
Chicken.
I wanted to ask you something because you weren't here last week. They're in the scene where Peter Baelish, the Royces are there interrogating him, and they bring in Sansa.
Yeah.
There's so many little minute changes where Sansa is kind of going along with the story, but also telling half the truth, which I was telling Boss doesn't happen in the book. So, which make me think those little changes are going to blow up into something much bigger.
I think that we might see. I don't know. I would not be surprised because based on last week's episode, when Sansa did that, you see, I guess they're showing like a lot of growth among characters, like we were talking about Jon Snow becoming a man, but he's like, it's not like good qualities of being a person. He's like going away from being a good person, and he's incorporating some negative things into his personality. And Sansa's doing the same thing in that episode, where
they're doing things so that they can
learning
live.
to survive in this world, but at the cost of, I guess, some sense of their morality. She's doing. She's lying. Like she told that truth, but then she lies because there's no bard in the show like there was in the book that they kind of pin this murder on. And in the book, Sansa is more like she understands what happened, what Peter Baelish did, and like what's going on, but she's still kind of stuck in somebody else's web of lies. And here she has created it. She's like an accomplice to it. So that's a major difference for her character.
Yeah.
And I do feel like there is some kind of creepy romantic relationship that is growing between them because the looks that she's giving him now are crazy. Like when they're hugging, he's like loving her lying. He's like giving her this crazy smile, which I don't know how that guy, the Royce guy, didn't see that. But
Royces,
they're always there too, but they don't know what's going on. And then when she's being consoled by that one woman. And she's giving Peter Baelish this look, and there was something in there. Yeah. And then when she comes down the stairs, she's looking at him again like this kind of like...
Yeah, I think Claire Gray said Darth Sansa.
Oh, yeah. That's really funny. Yeah, that's true. It's off-putting to me because I just feel like I'm waiting for them now to have this romantic relationship.
Yeah.
It's
And the
really
other
creepy.
major thing that changed that could mean something very different is the Hound and Arya. They're now so close to where Sansa is.
Oh, I really thought for a second that there is a really good chance that they are going to... Because I was thinking from the guard's perspective, why wouldn't they say, all right, go up? You know what I mean? Like, unless they just... I guess they're just going to turn around and leave Arya and the Hound. But I don't see why... I feel like there's a really good chance that in the show they're going to have... Littlefinger and Sansa meet with Arya.
Something like that. It reminded me a lot of...
I don't really think they're going to do that, but I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
It reminded me a lot of Bran and Jon in that scene where they're almost about to meet.
Yeah.
So I think it might be something similar to that.
But this is like really super close. Because if I'm thinking the guards, even though Arya's laughing at the... at her aunt being dead. They said Stark and everything. I don't know why they wouldn't say, oh shit, Arya Stark, all right, go on through the bloody gate. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't they? I imagine they would send word right away to Littlefinger, but they probably won't.
You should stop there before we start we might accidentally spoil stuff.
But there's going to be huge stuff that happens with Arya, I think. Daenerys, obviously, they're going to have
maybe
some
not
big
huge stuff.
but something important. Bran, there's going to be big stuff. Because he hasn't been in this series hardly at all, this season hardly at all. And they kind of...
Stannis.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have to go back to Stannis and Davos. That was weird to me, that I really thought they were going in a certain direction with Stannis and Davos' story, and then they kept showing Braavos, and then just nothing happened. I think I know what they were doing. I thought they were going to add stuff to what I know they're going to do, but they didn't. But Tyrion, there's going to be, obviously, that's going to be the biggest thing, really, is what's going to happen to Tyrion, because Oberyn obviously lost.
Yeah, we'll look forward to our spoiler episode, which we'll either do this week or we might save it till after the finale, which I think would make more sense at this point to do part 2 of our spoiler.
I guess, and then you can finish Dance with Dragons.
Yeah.
All right, so
I never know how to end these.
See ya.
All right, I'm Oxnard.
Leave your comments about Boss's rankings there, and give us your scenarios, and also your possible nights.
And bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.